So Elijah Doe asked me in the comment of one of my animatics to teach them what I did to make my animatic. So I decided to make a video to show them what I did. I hope you enjoy it. Hello, this is Ella, and today I'm going to be showing you how I do my animatics. Basically, when I'm choosing an animatic, I'm simply just finding one on my playlist that I have of animatic ideas, and I just randomly choose one, and whatever draws the most inspiration, I decide to make an animatic for it. The first thing I do after I choose the song I want to do is, on paper, I make a storyboard of the animatic and what I want to animate, basically, and just like the little steps. I have a bunch of arrows and all that stuff. And sometimes if I am drawing a new character or just like a character that I want to portray and draw differently, I'll draw them multiple times and just find the best way to portray them. After I do that, I go to Photoshop and I start working on the animatic. The first thing that I do when I'm on Photoshop is I just make a timeline and just start out from there, sketching what I want to do. I already have the sketch kind of prepared. For this part, I'm just having them dance. And I just do really, really rough sketches that correlate with the way I drew the stuff on the storyboard. And this process doesn't take that long, especially since my sketches are really, really messy. I also incorporate a little bit of actual animation to some of my animatics because I like having flowing with everything. So for this one, it just has 3 frames because it's just a little spin. When I'm also drawing, I only do a few frames at a time, so I'll focus on one chunk and then move on to it later after I put it in Premiere. So that's what I'm doing for this one tutorial, basically. The next step is going over what I had sketched, and for this I decided to have more messier lines. Sometimes when I'm inking, I try to take my time, but for this one I just thought I'll just be messy with it because that's what I was just feeling, I guess, at the time. After I'm done inking, I choose a background color. I went with blue because I just thought that it went well with everything, and I just color in everything white, and sometimes I add shading and sometimes I don't, just depends on how I'm feeling. So after that, I will export the dance animation as a GIF, and then everything else that I do that's not animated, I'll just export as a transparent frame. So I'll just like make a drawing of 2 people or like a person or whatever, and I'll just export it as a PNG transparent, and I'll have the background already prepared for the Premiere. So I'll put the background down and then I'll put the transparent picture over it. And that's so I can manipulate it better and just kind of work it the way I want to work it. And you're about to see that when I'm putting everything down. I'm first setting down the GIF that I put because I made it the size of a YouTube video, so I know that it'll fit the thing correctly, because I usually mess up and make it too big or too small, usually too small. And I slowed down the GIF because I made it really, really fast when I export it, and that's what I usually do because sometimes it adds a cool effect, it being slower, but sometimes it makes it weird, so you have to play around with it. And right here I'm just copy and pasting the background a bunch because I don't have the actual, just a plain background of it, but you can just do that easy. I was just being lazy. And now I'm setting the transparent pictures down. There's Ollie and Nino, they're going to be the background, and for this I'm going to have like them as a background and then Marinette and Adrian as the like front area of the animatic, so it kind of shows more depth with what's going on even though it's a plain background, and it makes the movement easier for me to animate since they are separate and on different layers. I also like to incorporate effects onto the pictures and stuff because on Premiere, and I'm assuming other editing stuff, they have like a bunch of cool little editing effects you could do, so I just gave them a little blur effect and made them like become more unblurry-ified as they moved along past them, staring at Adrian and Marinette. And this part became a mess, so that's why I decided to scrap this animatic. I might come back to it later, but basically I was trying to get the dancing thing to line up with them moving across. So it was going to be them appearing in the middle and going to the side. It just wasn't working, and I was playing around with it a lot. And sometimes that happens when you're doing something in an animatic and you just have to scrap it entirely. In my first animatic that I ever made, I had so many leftover frames that I wanted to add, and I was kind of just like placing them down wherever, and it just didn't look good, so I had to scrap it. But that's what's fun about animatics, is you get to play around with it and it's your thing. And everyone's animatic is different. Everyone has different styles. You can get inspiration from basically any animatic that you watch. I know I have a lot of inspiration from many people's animatics because I watch so many. But don't be afraid to try it out, try new things. You can do it on basically any software. You can do it on your iPad. I used to make animatics on my iPad. It's more complex, but it's fun. Or you can use Flip a Clip too, but my iPad's so old that I can't get that. So, and they even have free softwares that you can find online, like Krita is what I also used to make, or is what I also sometimes use for animatics. And you can use Firefox, or basically any software you can make an animatic. Because I know there's tons of people that use Paint Toolsci too, but it all just depends on your motivation too. So whenever I'm making an animatic, it only takes me like 2 or 3 days to make it if I'm really motivated to make one, because I'll spend so much time making it because I have a lot of free time at the moment. But yeah, I think I talked about basically everything that I wanted to talk about for this, so I hope this is helpful. If anything that I said was confusing, just ask me in the comments and I'll try to get back with you as best as I can, and I'll try to be more clear. I apologize if I wasn't. But I just wanted to show like the basics of what I did, because that's basically all I do. Is I just get transparent pictures, put them on, slap them on, give them some movement. Sometimes I'll get like a hand and I'll only draw the hand and then the body, separate layers, and then move that too. I'll show like a little clip of that because I have some stuff I can show right here, I guess, while I'm talking. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I hope this was helpful. And like I said, ask questions in the comments. I'll be happy to reply. Anyway, thank you for watching. Bye!